Welcome sa klase ni Sir Roger. Tara, magsagot tayo ng mga MCQs. Let's go! Okay, so for this video, we're going to answer some of the multiple choice questions tungkol dun sa ating topic last video about splitting mixed costs. Okay, so magsagot tayo ng ilang mga review questions baka sakaling makatulong sa inyong pag-review. Okay? Number one, a mathematical technique used to fit a straight line to a set of plotted points is letter A, integral calculus, B, the EOQ model, C, the method of least squares, D, linear programming, or E, PERT network analysis. So ano nga ba yung isang mathematical technique na ginagamit natin to split the mixed cost kung saan gumagawa tayo ng straight line or tawag natin a visual fit line. Okay? After a set of plotted points, gagawa tayo ng straight line closest to all the points. So, ang sagot natin dyan is letter C. Okay? Tawag din natin dyan least square regression. Okay? Yan. So, yung EOQ model, hindi natin to ginagamit sa splitting the mixed cost. Ginagamit natin to for inventory management. Okay? So, matatakel natin to pag umabot tayo sa topic ng inventory management. Okay? Yan. Yung linear programming, PERT network analysis, integral calculus, so hindi natin siya ginagamit for splitting the mixed cost. So, the answer is letter C. Okay? Number two, one advantage of using multiple regression analysis is that A, computations are simplified. B, only two data points need be considered. C, two-dimensional graph may be used to show cost relationships. D, costs may be grouped into one independent variable. Or E, the effects of several variables on costs may be analyzed. So dito, hindi natin masasabing simplified, no? Yung computations kasi dun sa ginawa nating least square regression din, ang dami nating mga computations, yung ating A na bex, tsaka XCX sa bex. So we cannot say na advantageous ang regression analysis because it is simplified. So hindi, no? Ito namang letter boy, hindi lang dalawang points ang tinitingnan natin. So this is applicable for high-low method. Two data lang ang ating tinitingnan. Okay? The two-dimensional graph may be used to show cost relationships. Hindi rin yan. One independent variable, hindi rin. Kasi multiple regression tayo. Pag sinabing multiple, marami. Hindi lang siya isa. So therefore, letter E ang sagot natin. The effects of several variables on cost may be analyzed. So the answer is letter E. Number three, an activity level the company expects to operate at is called, ayan, relevant range. Ito lang yung tinitingnan natin na mga activity levels. Outside the relevant range, we do not use that for analysis kasi that would disrupt the computations natin. Halimbawa, may high-low method tayong ginagamit, sabi nga natin last video. Kung yung lowest is talagang mababa siya as compared to the average, or kuya naman yung unang tingin mo pa lang, based on your judgment, napakalayo talaga ng pagitan niya doon sa kasunod na low. So medyo hindi natin siya isasama sa ating computation sa high-low method. So hindi siya relevant range, hindi siya kasama sa relevant range. Only those activity that the company expects to operate. So yung relevant range. So the answer is letter boy. Okay, so far so good. Nakakatatlo ka na. Number four, the technique that can be used to determine the variable and fixed portions of a company's cost is A, scatter graph method, B, Poisson analysis, C, linear programming, D, game theory, E, queuing theory. So itong mga letter B hanggang letter E, ginagamit siya sa quantitative analysis eh. Quantitative analysis. So hindi siya ginagamit for splitting mixed costs. So ang sagot natin, letter A. Bukod tanging ito lang sa limang yan ang ginagamit for splitting the mixed cost into variable and fixed. Kaya naman, letter A ang sagot natin. Okay? Kasi doon sa mga na-discuss natin, before, meron tayong qualitative approach tsaka quantitative approach. Yun nga yung quantitative, meron tayong high-low methods, kaya scatter graph method, at saka yung regression method. Okay? So itong letter B at E, hindi muna natin yung gagamitin. sa quantitative analysis na yan. Okay? Next, number 5. The number of variables used in simple regression analysis is, yan. Sa regression, simple regression, dalawa lang yung ating ginagamit na variables. We're not talking about variables in terms of cost, in variable cost. Dito, statistical ang perspective. Pag sinabing variable, we're referring to statistics, not cost function. Kasi baka isipin ninyo, dalawang variable cost? No. Hindi variable cost ang tinutukoy sa variables. When we say variables in simple regression analysis, we're talking about how many data. Hindi man necessarily data. How many yung ating ina-analyze? So dalawa, no? Yung independent variable at saka dependent variable. Yan, yun yung tinutukoy na variables natin. Yung independent variable, ano-ano nga yan? Yan yung ating variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. Actually, hindi yung variable cost per unit eh. Ito yung dependent variable, yan yung ating total cost. Yan. Yung ating independent variable, yun yung activities. Yan, baburahin lang natin. Okay, sa bang pambura natin dito. Yan. The independent variable is your activity. Ayan. So, we are analyzing independent variable and dependent variables. Tinitingnan natin kung siya ba'y may connection. Pag meron silang relationship, yan, gagamitan naman natin siya ng coefficient of correlation to determine whether meron siyang relationship. Okay? So, letter A ang sagot natin. Number 6. Yan. Multiple regression analysis, A, is not a sampling technique. B, involves the use of independent variables only. C, assumes that the independent variables are not correlated. D, establishes a cause and effect relationship. Or E, all of the above. Bakit pinag-uusapan natin regression analysis? Kasi nga, dito sa least square regression, paano kung halimbawa, dalawa yung ating marami siyang independent variables. Let's say, for example, maraming raw materials ang ginagamit sa isang output, no? So marami siyang independent variables. Okay? Yan, in terms of materials used. Yan. So medyo marami siyang independent variables. So dito sa multiple regression, ina-assume natin na hindi related yung mga independent variables. So sagot natin, letter C. Okay? Ang multiple regression, isa siyang sampling technique. Okay? Hindi lang independent variables ang ginagamit niya, pati na rin dependent variables pag tayo nag-multiple regression. Okay? Yan. So, at saka hindi siya cause and effect relationship. Yan. So, mas tama yung letter C. Ina-assume natin na siya ay hindi correlated yung mga independent variables from each other. So, the answer is letter C. Next, number 7. The quantitative method that will separate a semi-variable cost into fixed and variable components with the highest degree of precision. Siyempre, pag mataas ang precision mo, ibig sabihin, mas marami kang computations na ginawa. So, dun sa ginawa nating tatlo na least square regression, meron tayong scatter graph at saka high-low. Alin ba yung pinakang komplikado pagdating sa computations? Letter boy. Yung account analysis, hindi naman siya computation, judgment siya, so medyo hindi siya precise. Simplex method, we do not use that. Again, that is quantitative technique. Quantitative analysis to. So this is not, hindi siya ginagamit for splitting the mixed cost. So between the two, between the three, tsaka ito yung pinakang mas precise kasi mas marami siyang computations. Mas mathematically accurate siya. So letter B ang ating sagot. Yan. Next, multiple regression analysis involves the use of how many dependent variables and how many independent variables. Dahil nga siya multiple, pag sinabing multiple, we're looking at the independent variables. Okay? Which is the activity. So therefore, pag multiple, more than one ang iyong sinasama sa analysis. Pero ang dependent variable mo, hindi pwedeng more than one. Isa lang dapat yon. Tinitingnan mo kung related ba yung dependent variable mo doon sa mga independent variables. Halimbawa, yung total cost mo, which is dependent variables, related ba siya doon sa mga raw materials used na ginamit sa production? Right? So, one dependent variable, pero pwedeng many independent variables. Kasi siya ay multiple regression. Pag 1:1, simple yun. Pag 1 lang, that is simple. Yan. Isang X at isang Y. Yan. Next, number 8. Yan, medyo mahaba. Which of the following best describes the difference between the high-low method and the scatter plot method? Letter A. The high-low method uses all of the activity points. So that is wrong. Hindi niya ginagamit ang lahat ng activity points. Ano yung ginagamit niya? Ano yung tinutukoy dito? List square yan. Pag ginagamit niya lahat ng points. Scatter plot, I mean, ito pala siya. Scatter plot pala siya. Scatter plot. Baliktad ako. Scatter plot. Itong the scatter plot uses only 2 points. Yan yung high-low method. Yan yung high-low method. So, mali yan. Letter A. Letter B, high-low method uses the high activity point and the low activity point. The scatter plot method allows the user to select 2 points that better represents the relationship between activity and cost. So, the answer natin is letter boy. Yan. Letter C. Mali yung letter C kasi hindi gumagamit ng coefficient of correlation ang high-low method. Letter dog, uses cost from accounting records and uses cost from operating records. So, mali yun. Letter E, none of the above accurately describe the difference between high-low method and scatter plot. So, mas best describe yung difference ng high-low method and scatter plot sa letter boy. Okay? So, 8 questions down, 11 questions to go. Yan, medyo dinamihan natin para at least ay marami kang ma-review. Number 9. Which of the following is not an advantage of using the least square method rather than high-low method? Only daw disadvantage ng least square. Okay? Letter A, the equation line is best fitting line to the data points. Ito nga yung advantage pa niya eh. So, hindi siya disadvantage. Letter B, all of the data points are used. Advantage pa yan. Okay? Kasi nga, mas marami kang kinoconsider. Hindi katulad ng high-low method, dalawa. Letter C, meron siyang goodness of fit. That's also advantage. Letter E, measures of the reliability of the resulting line are available. That's also advantage. So therefore, letter E, lahat yan ay advantages ng least square method. So, kaya mas precise talaga ang least square method kaysa sa high-low. Next, number 10. Why is managerial judgment so critical in determining the cost behavior? Yeah, the cost behavior. Bakit daw mahalaga ang managerial judgment sa cost behavior? Letter A, lahat ng statistical methods are notoriously unreliable. Parang hindi naman, ano? So, mali ito. Unreliable ba ang mga statistical method? Parang hindi naman. Otherwise, kung unreliable yan, walang gumagamit ng statistical methods. Letter B, statistical methods are highly accurate in depicting the past, but they cannot foresee the future. Okay? So, unless mag-estimate ka. Pag nag-estimate ka, nag-forecast ka, it needs to have estimates. Kasi nga, forecast eh. Yung estimate papasok sa judgment, manggagaling sa judgment. So, ang limitations ng statistical methods, kaya niyang magbigay ng accurate representation of the past, pero they cannot foresee the future despite all the statistics available. It still needs managerial judgment. So, tama yung letter boy natin. Okay? Yan. So, the rest ay incorrect yung kanyang answer. Next, number 11. Which of the following is true about mixed costs? Letter A. Mixed costs include both fixed and variable. So, parang nagawa na natin to. That's correct. Tama yan. B, mixed cost cause problems in CVP calculations. So they must be split out between fixed and variable components. That's correct. Kasi sa cost volume profit analysis, you need to classify or categorize cost into fixed and variable only. Eh kung may mixed cost, kailangan mo siyang paghiwalayin para mas magkaroon ka ng magandang cost volume profit calculation. So problema ngayon ng fixed cost, kailangan mo siyang split. Okay? So tama din naman 'to. Letter C, one way to split out mixed cost is by using high-low method, which is correct. Therefore, letter boy ang sagot natin. Next, number 12. Baka nabibilisan ka. Balik mo na lang ulit sa sa ibang number. Tapos stop mo lang. Number 12, if you have any question pa lang, try to leave it in the comment section. Try nating sagutin. Okay. Or pag may tanong, pwede niyo akong directly i-chat. No? Yan. Number 12, a scatter diagram can be created to help show variable and fixed costs. Where would fixed cost be located on a scatter diagram? Diba scatter diagram or scatter plot? Ganito siya eh, no? May graph siya. Meron siyang y-axis at meron siyang x-axis. Meron siyang vertical, meron siyang horizontal. Alin nga ba dyan ang fixed cost? Dahil ang fixed cost natin is yung ating yung part na sa ating equation na Yabix, siya yung A, no? Yan. Alin nga ba dyan yung fix? Yung vertical or yung horizontal? Saan mo siya makikita? Yan. Fixed cost would be found where the line intersects the horizontal axis. That is wrong. Kasi ang horizontal axis natin refers to the activity. Okay? So ito yung mga nandito, ito yung mga activities. Fixed cost would be found where the line intersects the vertical axis. That's correct. Yung ating cost is the vertical axis. So tamang sagot natin is letter boy. Fixed cost would be located where the revenue and cost lines intersect. So that's break even. Pag nag-intersect ng cost at saka revenue, equal na sila ibig sabihin. Yan. So fixed cost can be determined using scatter diagram. So mali to. Kasi nga, scatter diagram is one way of splitting mixed cost. Okay? So mali yung letter. Correct answer is letter B. Alright. Number 13. The engineering approach to cost identification relies heavily on the use of A, technical experts and professionals, B, visual graphs, C, mathematical equations, or D, formulas. Ano sa tingin sagot niyo? Pag engineering approach, it's based on judgment, professional judgment. So therefore, kailangan mo ng technical experts and professionals dyan. Okay? Gagamit ka ng technical experts and professionals. Kasi sila yung may knowledge and expertise na required para mas accurately ma-assess yung at saka ma-estimate yung cost associated sa mga engineering projects. Okay, sila yung may mga malalim na pangunawa tungkol sa technical aspects involved. Okay? Yan, para makita mo yung makita mo yung patterns. Yan. So, the answer is letter A. Next, number 14. The method used to separate mixed costs that use only two data points, even if more reliable points are available, is called, so letter, dog. Dalawa lang naman yung ginagamit, high at saka yung low. Okay? So, two data points lang. Kinukuha mo yung difference ng total cost divided by the difference of the activity levels. Yun yung ating variable cost per unit, di ba? So, medyo simple siya, less time consuming compared sa regression analysis. Kaya isa ito sa mga sikat na choice pagdating sa separating the mixed cost. Next, number 15. The method used to separate the components of mixed cost which focuses on the mathematical difference between two extremes of observation. O yun nga, dalawang points, extreme, the high and the low. Yan, kinukuha yung differences. So letter A. Yan, letter A. Okay? So medyo nakukuha na natin yung pagkakaiba ng high-low tsaka ng scatter graph. 16. The drawback to using the high-low method is that this method is based on, yun na nga yung disadvantage niya. Yung advantage niya, madali siyang gawin. Madali siyang i-compute. Kaya lang, ang disadvantage niya, dadalawa yung iyong kinoconsider na points kahit na meron pang ibang points na reliable. Yun nga lang. So, letter B. drawback. So, hindi niya ina-account yung variations. So, yung activity, yung relationship between the cost and the activity is linear. So, hindi niya tinitingnan yung variations or fluctuations between the 2 points. Kaya naman minsan inaccurate yung cost estimations. Pag halimbawa yung relationship ay hindi talaga linear. Number 17, when the scatter graph method is compared with the high-low method, the fixed and variable costs will be. Yan, pag kinumpare mo daw. Yan. So, parehas namang nag-a-analyze ng cost ang scatter graph tsaka high-low. However, magkaiba sila ng approaches pagdating sa determining fixed and variable cost. Si scatter graph, ulitin natin, nagpa-plot siya ng mga data points sa graph and visually, ina-identify yung relationship between cost and activity levels. Si high-low method, gumagamit siya ng highest tsaka lowest activity, no? Para makalculate mo yung variable cost per unit. Then, tsaka mo aalamin yung fixed cost component. Therefore, medyo pareha sila ng result na lalabas dapat, pero hindi sila identical. Kaya naman, somewhat different. May pagkakaiba pa rin naman sila. Pag na-compute yung fixed cost and variable cost, using different using scatter graph at saka using high-low method. So may pagkakaiba pa rin. Although somewhat similar sila, somewhat different din naman. Number 18, the most mathematically complex method used for separating mixed cost is, you're correct, regression analysis. Isa sa mga may hirap pagdating sa computations ng splitting mixed cost. Pero doable siya. Dinemonstrate naman natin siyang last video. Okay. Then we're down to the last question. When a cost no longer holds to its cost behavior pattern, the activity may be. Pag yung cost, hindi na siya pumapasok sa behavior pattern nung cost na yon, ibig sabihin yung activity ay outside na ng relevant range. Ano ibig sabihin niya? Again, kapag yung cost na yun, hindi na siya katulad ng behavior pattern, it means that the cost is not behaving as expected based sa historical data na meron tayo. In this case, labas na siya, yung cost na yun, labas na sa relevant range. Which means, yung level of activity or volume, na-exceed niya na yung range kung saan yung pattern na yun ay na-established. Okay? Yan. So, pwedeng nagbago ng make significant changes sa business environment, no? Or business operations. Kaya naman yung pattern, hindi na nasusunod. So, nag-deviate na siya doon. So, therefore, the correct answer here is outside the relevant range na yung activity. Okay? So, I think this is the last question that we have. Naka 19 questions tayo. Congratulations kung na-perfect mo siya. Next video natin, we're going to practice solving how to split mixed cost using the different approaches. So yun lang. Again, tuloy nyo lang yung pag-aaral nyo, tuloy nyo lang yung pagsisikap nyo, meron yung ibubungan na maganda balang araw. So ingat kayo palagi and good luck sa inyong journey. Bye-bye!